Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, outsiders of all ages, it is time for another Outsiders, and it is almost time for a playoff game at DKR. Are you kidding me? Yep. Two shades of orange getting together. Winner gets Arizona State. I can't believe that's a real thing. We will talk about that. We will talk about Texas and some portal gets and maybe wants. What's already under that Christmas tree and what might be under the portal Christmas tree. We also have your full outsider lineup, even though it doesn't look exactly like it right now. Oh, the quarterback's going to sit down. Don't worry about it. The quarterback's going to be here. And if you think he's smiling now, I'm going to give him another reason to smile here in just a second. But first, we remind you that it is the Outsiders, brought to you by Poncho. Let's roll through a few examples. Bo's got one on. There's no doubt about that. He's got one. But Jason Diggs got one on. Look at that thing here. You know what? What are you pointing at? What are you pointing at? Your nipple? What's going on?
Only that I have a slight stain on mine. So sorry. Yeah.
I thought you were trying to point out that you had a nipple.
The fact that he was pointing out the stain was very bizarre. You know who else rocks poncho? Colt does. Yeah, that's Colt wearing the Earl. That's crossing your legends right there. The Smokey is in that picture. We got to, whoa, wait, what? What happened? What are you doing? No. And then I go from that to the kids' shirts. What are we doing? What just happened? They've got kids' shirts at Ponchos. Do not let the kids talk to Uncle Jason ever. Do not let them make direct eye contact with Uncle Jason. The 40 Acres is available along with some other great Longhorn items. Oh my God. What are we doing? No. What are we doing? Colt, save me. Colt, please. Please, Colt. Wow.
Speaking of Colt, and you can just zoom out of Jason's camera. Did you see the commercial with him and the Wasp Hive?
Yes. Very good. Very solid. Colt and the backup wasp spray. I like that one. It's very good. Wow. Now
sorry. I apologize. I'm
trying to keep my dinner down.
Colt Carney and the other 8th grade boys that watch this show, don't do what Jason did.
Yeah.
So, the best part is somebody's going to screenshot that and it's going to be glorious.
It's going on the tweets. Somebody's tweeting that.
All right. So as we announce the Outsiders, our upper left, as always, is the quarterback. It is the Mach 5. Let me show you Mach 5, the big version, because we need to talk about something in the background. Chance, do you recall about how long you've had the Buffalo Bills bowling pin in your possession? Do you recall when I gave it to you?
On November the 7th. So a month and a week.
It's been right around that point. Bo, what's the exact date of that Super Cooper golf tournament?
It was the 6th?
It
was November 6th.
6th. There you go. Chance had it right almost to the day. Since Chance Mock has taken full ownership of that Buffalo Bills bowling pin, by my count, the Bills are 4-1, including beating Kansas City, San Francisco, and Detroit by a combined 40 points.
But is that before or after the pin was molested by the elf on the shelf? At what point did that happen? Is there a correspondence of the Bills winning and the elf getting some?
Whatever it is, we're not touching it.
Didn't tell you to touch it.
And it doesn't hurt that we have football god on our side.
I have this guy that stares down at my computer all during Christmas season.
Yeah, it feels like you got a lot on your side right now, Buffalo Bills fans. So congrats on that. Congrats to all of you jumping in the chat tonight. If you want to comment on what you've seen so far, ATX Bates says eye contact. Don't let him within 300 feet of a school. Yes.
I'm going to go with the if you don't talk about it, it didn't happen, and we're going to move to another part of the show.
Right. We've got some my eyes, and I think I just went blind. Yes, we're going to just try to move on.
So the group of morons that I consider close friends of mine from the Cedar Park area, they like to play this game where if you leave your phone out, no matter what time of night, then somebody's going to take a picture of their nipple and have it in your phone. And I thought that was a dumb like
you just put an idea in Jason's head for
no, the number of times that somebody's like, gosh dang it, why do I have a bunch of pictures of dudes' nipples in my phone?
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's going to happen. And so is a playoff game for Texas. We will get to that. Also, just to update everybody in outsider land, if you didn't know, Texas got a couple of portal additions over the weekend. Defensive side of the ball. Got a linebacker from Arkansas, Brad Spence, which sounds like a lawyer, but he's a linebacker. They got a guy from Purdue, Cole Brevard, who does not sound like a lawyer, and he's not. That's a D tackle from Purdue.
Tell him about the most important one.
6'3", 333. And Texas heavily addressed their punting issue. They go into this game with 126 best net punting. Before you ask, no, he cannot punt against Clemson. But what? Jack Burmeister of Utah is going to be a Texas Longhorn as well. So that was actually the first one. First guy from the portal to Texas was the badass punter, Bo.
Well, and you say he can't punt against Clemson. Does anybody actually know what the punter looks like? If he throws on a Michael Kern jersey and just goes out there and starts dropping hammers, I mean, are they going to blood test him? Are they going to make him take his helmet off like a Scooby-Doo episode? Or can we just slide one under the radar?
Are you
no offense, Michael Kern, but
you're suggesting he go Bobby Valentine? Is that what you're suggesting?
He's going to go Connor Stallion.
That's all I'm saying.
The Connor Stallions look, sunglasses and a Central Michigan hat, and just see if he can work his way in there.
He's going to be in a helmet. Who's going to be able to put a big black visor on the helmet? Let Baumeister go kick the crap out of it. Everybody wins.
And Randy, you are correct. He is an Australian punter, not just one of those Australian punters, but ends up at Utah. He's got he's like third or fourth on some of their lists, and they've had badass punters there, including a couple of Ray Guy winners. So those three names are in, and then there's some offensive names you might want to keep an eye on. There's still no resolution on Eric Singleton from Georgia Tech. He's been all over the place the last few days. I don't know if he got to Texas today. We're trying to confirm that. The Orange Bloods guys are trying to confirm. He may end up showing up tomorrow. The tight end from Purdue was in town, I believe, over the weekend. Also visited A&M. Max Clare is his name. So
when did Purdue become like the junkyard of spare parts for other teams to go like?
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Collectively, they can't win a damn thing, but all their parts must be really good because everybody.
Can Hudson Card punt? Can Hudson Card punt? Is that possible?
I don't know if Hudson Card has the Danny White, Joe Theismann, Randall Cunningham in him to let a punt go.
Hey, David Ash got to try out in the CFL as a punter, so there is a history at Texas of quarterbacks that can kick.
It could happen. Hey, Bo, that piece that A&M got from Purdue last season, he's going to go in the first round.
You scored, yes.
That dude's a player. Like, who knows? Maybe Texas gets the DT that can give them that kind of.
I can tell you one player Texas isn't going to be getting from the portal. The guy that's on again, off again, off again, on again. He's big enough that he can do that, but vaya con Dios, Sadir Mitchell. Like, we're not playing this a third time. You win. Go find. We should send Sadir to Purdue. That's where Sadir Mitchell should go.
There's probably a joke about Sadir Mitchell in the portal or out of the portal. It just kind of depends on your perspective on where you're standing and he's standing on where everything is. But yes, so there were rumors both ways. The last rumor is that Sadir Mitchell is going to be in the portal and he is going to leave Texas.
How about the kid? And I know we're going to talk about Clemson, but how about the kid who basically just gave Steve Sarkisian the best sales pitch ever? Former Longhorn Zach Swanson, who's at Arizona State. Did y'all see that footage?
I did. Yeah.
He basically just said, Sark and his staff told me I wasn't good enough, so I should go somewhere else and play. Now I'm here and I'm happy. Well, that's Sark's going to take that tape with that dude in his bald head at 21 years old, by the way. Sorry, bro. That sucks.
But he does have the Cody Carlson hairline, doesn't he?
Oh, it's bad. Yeah. But take that tape and be like, see, I'll be honest with your kid. In a world of everybody being snake oil salesmen and telling you things you want to hear, we straight up told him, you're never going to see the field. If you want to get your education, we'll pay for it and go get a UT degree. If not, Go find somewhere else because you don't meet our standard. Like, Swanson said it like it was a bad thing. I swear Sark and them are going to be playing it on a loop for every parent they talk to about how they're genuine and honest.
Yeah, Swanson said it. You're right. Like it was some kind of like he was going to use it to, to face Texas if Arizona State gets to play Texas. But then when you look at his snaps this year and all that, he's like 4th on that depth chart at the position. So,
well, where do you think he'd be at Texas?
Right.
I mean, Senior Mitchell's transferring.
At
I guarantee
Arizona
Senior
State.
Mitchell will be on the field before Zach Swanson.
Exactly. Yeah. Texas is still 1 win from getting to take on Arizona State.
I love that question, though. Where would he be if he was at Texas? He'd be at Arizona State because he tried Texas. It didn't work.
That's it.
Where would he be? He'd be watching from the stands because he wouldn't have made the 85 man to get a ticket.
Our man Chris Bennett reminding everybody too, the Aggies did get a big name in the portal. Micah Hudson to A&M in the portal. That did happen.
Good luck.
And also JD, if Doc Hastings is watching tonight and the other scientists, they will appreciate this weird reference you just made. Sadir Mitchell, the new Schrodinger's cat. Well done. Well done, JD. You big nerd. You big old nerd. Well done.
Dude, so we already have – so the Aggies are most likely going to get Jonte Cook. They got Micah Hudson. Is there another 5-star absolute diva space kid? Are they going to sign Chad Johnson, Mr. Ocho Cinco, to be the wide receiver coach for this crew of degenerates?
And I hope so. Are they getting Jonte?
That's the rumor.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
now.
nobody else is going to take him right now.
Look how happy Chad is to get Jonte Cook.
I'm still the president of the fan club. I have not stopped.
Oh, I am too.
We can change colors in the room. All that's left right now, the Jonte Cook fan club, is like me, Catch, a coffee maker, and a couple cookies. But we will crank it back up if we need to. We will keep it going.
I'm just saying, if Micah Hudson wasn't happy with the number of targets and snaps he was getting in pass-happy Lubbock, what do you think he's going to feel like in the Colin Klein machine with Marcel Reed throwing 5-yard passes?
The run play on 4th and 1. That's what we'll get a lot of. So there's portal stuff going on. Definitely. We also have some Texas Clemson to get into as the game is only, what are we, 5 days away? Is that right? 5 days away from a playoff game at DKR. We will do that. But before we do anything, Bo, why don't you tell the folks about Gold and Griff, one of our new partners here on The Outsiders.
Oh, Gold and Griff is phenomenal. Billy Sargent, longtime contractor, still working his day job, but his side hustle. And this is so great. This is a guy trying to take care of his family in a way that helps your family. You got those nagging little handyman things. You got any kind of project around the house that your significant other is bugging you about. Golden Griff will get it done professionally, not farmed out. Billy will be there. We showed the email last week from one of our listeners who said Billy came out, did one job, already booked him for a second job. I talked to Billy on Sunday. He's already getting set up for a 3rd job. That's how satisfied the customer is. That's how satisfied you would be. 512-733-9789. You want to give a Christmas present that resonates? Call Billy and set it up. The work doesn't have to be done before Christmas. Just a little card that says, honey, that mantle project or that outdoor project or whatever kitchen repair or TV hung or whatever it is, it can be done. And Golden Griff will take care of you. They'll be there the entire process to make sure it's done right. If you need a bigger job, they can definitely do that too. But I'm telling you right now, Christmas is saved with Golden Griff, 733-9789.
All right. Shout out to Golden Griff and the other great partners on the show. Shout out to all of you in the Specs chat. Texas and Clemson coming up Saturday at 3. Show of hands. Anybody going to the game? No?
Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
I am not.
100%.
Yes.
Well, you have season tickets, so you get a ticket. I do not.
Okay.
I rely on the kindness of people that give me tickets, and this is not a ticket that everybody wants to give me. So unless something changes, I'll be watching it on HBO Max at Chris Abbott's garage. But if something does change, I'll be glad to be in the stadium. Mental note, chatters, you can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email. I don't give a damn if you got tickets.
Yeah,
Grinder.
and another good reminder from Bo, this is a TNT and Max game. The two on Saturday.
What is that?
It's weird. It's the 11
Yeah.
o'clock and the 3 o'clock game on Saturday. So the Penn State game and the Texas game, both going to be on TNT or Max. So make sure you make that adjustment.
I don't even have TNT, so we have to have Max.
Is that right? You don't have TNT?
No, because I use what's it called? Fubo.
Oh, I
And
see.
Fubo has been in a long-standing contractual dispute with TNT, TBS, and we also miss True TV, which has really changed my life. But
Interesting. By the way, for the record, I don't know if Mark is breaking news on the show, but if in case it happens, you will have heard about it here first. Antonio Brown, 2025 A&M wide receivers coach. Now that would be a hell of a move.
we don't
Would be a hell of a move.
I said Ocho Cinco. He is a upstanding individual. He's just a diva. You need somebody that understands divas, but not somebody that's just certifiably insane.
Yeah, no, that would be crazy. Oh, here's a little stat for you guys. Chris Bennett checking. Chris Bennett's the only person watching this Falcons game tonight. He says Bijan just passed 1,000. How about that? Go ahead, 7. Come on now.
Well, you got what, 3.5 more? You could probably get to like 1,250.
Very cool, very cool. Thank you, Chris Bennett, for.
If they could just get rid of Tyler Algier, he'd probably get a hell of a lot more. Oh, sorry, that was a fantasy reference that not everybody's going to get.
Oh, yeah, that was that was deep. All right, so as we get ready for Texas Clemson injury stuff first, gentlemen, Sark had a presser today. Everything sounded like pretty good news. He said Quinn's not wearing the brace anymore, the famous brace that they held up at the beginning of the game and showed you that weird fake foot thing. He's not wearing that. Banks is wearing a brace similar to the one Quinn was wearing, although I'm sure it's a little bigger. But it sounds like Quinn and Banks both expected to go. And then Isaiah Bond sounds like he was confident, but maybe not as confident in Bond. But he said they're going to do everything they can to have him play. So health-wise, looking pretty good going in.
So let me ask Chance, and all of you, but starting with Chance. Based on your experience, if Bond is not ready to roll and there are guys waiting in the wings, like let's just say, for instance, Ryan Wingo or others, is it better to have Bond as a decoy or is it better to have a guy that is viable? Because I would contend I want the viable guy out there, not the guy that's by the second quarter they know he's not going to be able to do the cutting that they have to be worried about. I don't think Bond should play unless he's able to go play.
No, I agree 100% with you, because especially with how deep this receiver room really is, with a lot of the youth that's in there and how good they are. I think that with nowadays, with everything on social media, with as much information as these guys have, they know where Bond's status is. And if they can gauge early on that he's nothing but a decoy, then that's all he becomes. And now you've wasted a body out there. And I think with the guys that they have at their disposal on the bench, I think it'd be foolish to play him if he's not really ready to play.
Wouldn't it just be the right play to run all over this Clemson team? Like I don't know. I don't know about this the Clemson defense, but I feel like you would have to run all over them, and that is not even an option to not do that. Sorry, that was.
Chad, do you have your Jason to English dictionary where you can translate what he just said? But I think what he was saying is we should just run it 50 times in a row, and we have the manpower to do those things.
Sorry.
No, and to Jason's point, yes, we should be focused on the running attack, but I think Clemson is in the 60s or 70s in both run and pass defense. They're equally average. Like, I'm not going to say they're bad at stopping the run. They're just not good at it. They're not bad at pass defense. They're average. Their defense, as my 13-year-old son Razor would like to say, is mid. Like, they're not very good. So hopefully Sark has a game plan to attack them in a variety of ways. But this isn't meant to sound arrogant. we don't necessarily need Isaiah Bond's skill set to do that. Like if he's 100%, yes, put his ass out there. But if he's going through if he's just trying to gut it out and taking the needle, there are much bigger games down the line where we might not be able to win without a player like Bond. Without a difference maker like Bond.
But to the point, and Jason, to your point, your big runs come when your receivers are blocking downfield. There's one thing I know is if Bond is not 100%, and I mean 100, not 99.8, because even when he's 99.8, he doesn't block all the time. If he's not 100%, he ain't blocking. And so when you have that running game, to have those explosive, you need receivers out there that can block. And so, again, I go back to if he's not 100, I don't know why you would play him.
Well, and let me throw this one at both of you guys because I saw it on Twitter, but it's something I've been thinking about. And Chance, you and I have talked about this a couple times. At what point do you not utilize Jarrett Gibson a little more in short yardage or in these situations? It's obvious the guy's built like a tank, and I realize he may have some fumbleitis issues. I realize he may not be the best blocker in pass protection, but early in the game, why not show a little bit of what they haven't seen and hit them right in the mouth? Like just a couple of plays where Jarrett Gibson comes in and runs downhill, because I don't think Clemson is preparing for a three-headed running back monster. I think they're going to watch Trey Wisner tape a lot and know that Blue is fast. But they are not going to be preparing for Jarrett Gibson in a 2-week setup. There's only so many weapons on the Texas side that you can prepare for. And I think it would be a shock to their system. It's a way to keep the quarterback from having to be part of that. Like, what about an first, 3rd, and 2, Arch and Jarrett Gibson back there? And now you got one that can break it, one that can bulldoze you, just to show different looks and set up other games.
Yeah, I think the run game's going to be – the run game's huge both ways. Neither of these teams had a good game running the ball in the championship. Clemson, even though they won their game, 2 yards a carry, I think it was, against SMU. They didn't do it running the ball. And obviously we know what Texas did against Georgia. Something else to keep in mind, somebody threw it in, Bo, but the Clemson running back has been banged up. Maffa, he is an 1,100-yard guy, but if you watch that game against SMU, he was not right. So hopefully for the Clemson side of things, he's gotten himself into – it's a shoulder, I think, is what he's dealing with. Didn't look like himself, and his health is going to be another interesting thing to watch. But, Bo, to me, if Texas needs to – I don't mean this as an insult to Gibson in any way. If Gibson's got to be part of the first wave of ideas, this run game's got an issue. I think they just need to get back to the non-Georgia game part of it. I think they're going to be fine with Wisner and Blue establishing that run early.
I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I'm talking about this is a playoff game. This is a lose and go home type of game. Your best short yardage back, which has been proven throughout the season in the 1 and 2 yard scenarios, is Jarrett Gibson. So what I'm saying is, why not show it early and really hit them? Because that's the way that Texas can win this game the way most Longhorn fans want to see it. We have to take their soul in the first half. Texas gets in trouble when they allow teams to hang around. Even Georgia. Like if Texas would have put them down in the first half when they had the opportunity, then there wouldn't be a second half comeback by Georgia or a victory because you break their spirit. This is a Clemson team that's lost 3 games, that has been embarrassed a couple of times by superior competition. I don't want to leave anything in the toolbox. If we have short yardage, don't placate to egos. Trey Wisner is a great running back, and he is a dog. And I'm not saying he's not, but he's better acclimated for bouncing around, bouncing out, using the zone schemes. He's not just a straight line, run you over bulldozer. That was all I was saying. Like, I think this is the type of game that we can take their will to play in the first half if we handle it correctly.
Yeah. You also got to wonder, Chance, you got to wonder what the thought process is. Have we seen any serious amount of Gibson since that fumble? What game was that? Where Blue fumbled, then
Kentucky?
he fumbled. Was it Kentucky?
I think it was Kentucky, wasn't it?
It was Kentucky.
where Blue fumbled first, then they put him in to say, okay, kid, don't just, one carry, fumble, and then they had to put Blue back in. I'm trying to remember if we've seen much of Gibson after that. I wonder where the trust level is, because Bo, you said it, going into a playoff game, how much trust is, because this is that game where ball security, Clemson is a good team getting the ball away from the other team, turnover margin, 5th in the country. So, if you help them, Clemson can make you look a little silly.
So here's the thing that I go to is, as this game is continuing to grow into the pro game, right? There's more athletes on that are centralized in these bigger teams. The amount of athletes on the field are incredible. It's turning into the NFL. As you get to the NFL with the playoffs, the bench shortens significantly, right? And the coaches suck down into the guys that they're most comfortable with. Even some of the guys that are not necessarily 100% as far as their health-wise, because nobody's 100% at their health, right? So when you get a bunch of guys that are banged up as it is, you start leaning on those that you trust. And so if he wasn't – I like the creativity of Bo's idea. I do. I just think Sark's mindset in this game is going to be more of a head coach in the NFL in the first playoff game, as in I'm sucking that ring in and keeping the guys that I trust on the field more.
And keep in mind, in a couple of the chatters, I was saying when you bring in Arch, have Gibson standing by his side.
That makes more sense to me.
Because it's a very limited subset. But I do think we're going to see a little more of the Arch Manning package in these games, because it is no room for error. Short yardage.
Right.
Real quick, y'all know I'm the president of the Quinn fan club. I love the guy. He is not the guy I want running on 3rd and 2 or 4th and 1. Like, I'm okay with him being not involved with that play and hurting something else.
Real quick, Bo, for you, the Arch stuff, just short yardage or just red zone or both?
I would say mostly short yardage. Maybe in the middle of the game, like just as a change, like Chance can disagree with me here, but I don't think it's a great idea to send a quarterback in to throw it a lot when he's out of rhythm. Like, when he's not involved in the flow of the game, when he hasn't taken hits. It's one thing to bring in Arch for the run, for the zone read. And if they want to bring 9 in the box and he pulls it back and throws it, great. This is Quinn's show to me, but I do think there are limited plays where Arch can really make a defense stand more on its heels than get up and attack. Because if Arch is standing there with Jarrett Gibson, they have to keep an eye on both of them, which means they can't just clog the middle and not do anything, because as soon as they clog the middle, Arch is running around the left or the right side, and you're screwed. Like, 3rd and 2 becomes 60-yard touchdown because you sold out to stop the run. That play doesn't exist with Quinn Ewers. Yes, he did have the 25 or 26-yard run against the Aggies up the side. Like, we don't need any of that hobble down the sideline stuff.
All I know is
saying Jarrett Gibson only in that limited subset. Am I really talking about it? But how awesome would it be for Texas fans in that stadium? Couple drives, couple plays. Quinn completes the passes, run, and it's 3rd and 1 at the 38. And they bring in Arch and Jarrett, and instead of Arch keeping it like everybody thought, Jarrett Gibson just bulldozes a linebacker in the hole. And Clemson knows these guys, they're just too big and strong for us. And then, since he's now a AP All-American, then we can have Michael Taft, AP second-team All-American, and Alfred Collins, AP second-team All-American, even though they couldn't get honorable mention to the damn All-SEC team. But the writers around the country think they're good enough to be second-team All-Americans. Then we let them hit their running back.
Yeah, there need to be multiple Longhorn defensive players that are pissed off about that stuff. Those two, Hill, there needs to be a good amount of mad on that Texas defense about the slights. Let's grab a couple super chats here. Our man Oscar threw a $4.99 in earlier and says, I think this Clemson team is going to make it a game. Aren't the Chiefs? Wins are not guaranteed. That's an interesting way to say it. They could. Oscar, they can make it a game. I'm not sure if they're going to do that, depending on what you mean by a game. But it's a team you don't want to mess around and be sloppy against. That's the number one thing that I would say about this Clemson team. They're not an elite level Dabo Clemson team, but if you're sloppy and you let them in,
But
they got some guys that can hurt you. I would agree.
So
all right,
here's where I would differ from you just a little bit, Chad. This is still elite level talent. They don't have quite the depth that the Clemson teams of the last few years have, but it's not like Clemson has been failing in recruiting. Now, Dabo's desire not to be involved in NIL has hurt them in some regards. They still have elite talent at a lot of positions, including the quarterback position. Like, that's not their issue. Their issue is depth. Like, they only have one wave. They don't have that second or third wave, but they have their first wave in play. But if you can get to them early, and then when they have there's no way they can play their starters the entire game. Now, I realize it's only going to be 60 degrees and not Texas 100, but it's still going to be – it's a game that they're going to have to substitute guys in because Texas is bringing in waves of guys. If we make it to where that second wave is already feeling defeated because they just watched the guys that start in front of them get their ass kicked, we can make this the game that Texas wants. If they hang around, then that second team becomes emboldened, and all of a sudden now it is a game. And Texas's MO when they get into games like that, or at least Sark's MO, is buckle up because the fourth quarter is going to be a bumpy-ass ride.
No, I would agree with you there. By the way, speaking of temperatures, S. Roan sent us all 4 temperatures for the weekend. Ohio State, 28 degrees. Penn State, 25. Austin, 62, as Bo mentioned. And then 28 for Notre Dame. I'm hearing it may snow in South Bend on Friday.
Actually Penn State or State College. I don't know. Penn State football, State College. I don't know how to work that. But either way, they sent out a picture today with a bunch of snow on their field in the stadium, and they were shoveling it off. And they were like getting ready for the playoffs. And then, of course, SMU comes, and they were trying to be funny and cute, but they weren't. Like something like ponies love playing in the snow or something like that. And I was like, oh, y'all
be careful.
Like, stop.
Yeah. Be careful there, Mr. Lashley.
Just let them have fun and move.
If you're SMU, just don't talk at all.
Yeah.
Just don't give them any inclination that you think you can win this game. Make them think that you're a scared little pony.
No, if you're SMU, you be the quiet possum. You just sit there. Hey, yep, hey, we're fired up to be here. We know how great Penn State is. We're just happy to be in the playoffs. Be calm and cool about it, and then show up for the fight. Like, catch them on the right day. Maybe a couple things happen and go your way.
I think that of all the, and I know we're doing picks on Wednesday night, but I think of all the early first round games, that's the one most susceptible to the higher seeded team winning. I'm not saying who I think is going to win it yet, but SMU can beat Penn State.
They can.
Like
Clemson can beat Texas.
I would say the odds are much more likely that SMU can beat Penn State than Clemson beating Texas.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that not only obviously these 3 like classic Midwest locations are getting to host, but 2 of them are getting Southern teams to come to them. That's pretty cool. One of them's going to have a team that's used to playing in Dallas come to them, and the other's used to Knoxville. And you got to go to 25, 28 degrees at kickoff. It's a night game for the Tennessee guys. SMU does get a day game, which may help a little bit in terms of temperature. They'll get the heat of the day, whatever that is, in Happy Valley. But it's cool. It's what we talked about from day one of these playoffs. That if you're one of those more, northern type teams, you may get to drag somebody to your weather, and we get 3 of them.
You made me think about it because it made me laugh so much. I'm listening to the Bills pregame yesterday, and the weather guy pops in with a Dunn Tire weather update for the game. Yeah. And he goes, and the Dunn Tire weather update for the game, it's in a dome, so it won't really matter. Have a great day. Like, what?
So
72 and killing it.
That's so funny because I think it was the Red Zone channel that I was watching when I was like, they queue up Highmark Stadium. It's like a damn blizzard.
I saw that too, Bo.
And Hanson's like, what can Josh Allen and Jared Goff do in the tundra? Oh, wait, they're in Detroit. It's showing like a damn disco in the damn
then it shows the 70. Yeah, the 72 degrees inside. It's fantastic. So we'll get some 3 cold weather games. Texas obviously getting to host the other one this weekend. It is going to be a lot of fun. This may be my favorite text so far of the show because I think he's absolutely right. ATX Bates, I think, has nailed this game and every game for Texas moving forward. First and second down success is the priority. They've been fine on 3rd and short. They have a problem getting to that situation. Bates, hallelujah. Sark said it today about, I want to run on 1st and 10, but I don't want it to be 2nd and 11. And that's been happening too much to this team, especially when they've faced Georgia. But that's a big deal to me, Bo, in this game. That Clemson defense, again, they can be opportunistic. They're good at getting to what turnovers gained. They're a top 10 team in the country. If they can get you in those long down and distances, they can hurt you. If Texas can do to them what Georgia did to them to start the year, just put them in a vice, like you put them in a vice early, get physical with them early. I mean, we knew, you watched that game, it took you about 3 drives each way to go, yep, I know exactly who's winning this game.
No, I can't argue with you. Texas needs to exert its dominance from the start. Like if Texas can score early and that defense can do what it does, Cade Klubnik is a hell of a quarterback. But like any quarterback, he doesn't like pressure coming in his face. And if Texas gets to where they can just pin their ears back and let all those guys go eat, it's going to be a long day for Klubnik. And people talking about how great it is that he gets to come home, I think that's a negative. I think having to spend a week or more at your house or in your hometown with all your hometown buddies and everything else, like the Texas guys are used to it. They've been in this environment the entire season. Now Klubnik has to come here, and he's got the weight of, honestly, Westlake Nation on his shoulders. And it can snowball out of control. It can also be the thing that fuels you up. But if you're playing in front of your family and everything's going wrong, it can be this thing that just makes you implode.
If you guys want to throw us a super chat, we'll get it right to the front of the list. Chance, I want to get more of your thoughts on, especially the quarterback matchup and that whole drama is just great. The Klubnik coming back and those two going at each other again like they did in a state title game. But first off, Chance, let's tell them about not the other Texas quarterback, but that other Arch that you like to talk about a lot, and that is Arch Public. Let them know.
Yep, our boys at Arch Public, they've been, I told y'all we had been down and we were just waiting. I got a text today, said we had a nice big winner today, so we're back on the good side of things. We've always been on the good side. I mean, I was plus 38%, I believe, since May on my money, which I still think is pretty damn good. This is what Arch did in the month of October, a little over 21% on people. Basically, all it does, it's your money. It's your account. They don't touch it. What they do is they provide you with the algorithm that looks at the market and determines when it's the right time to jump in and jump out. It's quick. Sometimes you're in for 30 minutes. Sometimes you're in for an hour, never more than that. You're in and out. The money's back in your account. So Arch, what they do is they talk to you and decide, is this right for you? We don't try to tell you what to do or how to do it with your money. That's your money. That's why we take no control of it. All we want to do is provide you with the tools to help that money grow efficiently. Arch Public, scan it right there, or shoot me a DM and I'll hook you up with Tillman and Andrew and the guys over at Arch Public. You can discuss it, decide if it's right for you. If it fits, I promise you'll be happy with the product.
All right, so fellas, as we talk about I'm sorry, did I interrupt somebody? Thought I heard something. In terms of and Bo was just talking a little bit about the Klubnik thing. Chance, give me a thought on these two quarterbacks, because you've got the state title game that they faced each other. They're both in that same, I think they are in the same class, right? If you look at, I know Quinn reclassified, but I think if it's not the same class, it's maybe just one off. But they face each other in the title game. Klubnik coming home, like Bo mentioned. You got, defensive guys for Texas that are Westlake guys. Not to mention, this is Quinn's last game at DKR, and he wants to go out, great at home and then continue a playoff run. Give me like quarterback psychology going into this game, because both of them just have a lot on their shoulders going in.
I think you have two different mentalities coming in. I think you have one quarterback that thinks I have to play the greatest game of my life coming back to my hometown against a guy I played against in college who was rated higher than me. And you have another guy that just says, hey, I've just got to move our team and just complete the ball. I don't have to do anything great. I just have to do my job. That's all I have to do. So there's two massively different amounts of pressure on the two guys, being that I think Klubnik's going to be carrying a significant amount more. I mean, to me, this is what I think. Going back to what Bo was just talking about, I don't worry about the defense at all. I think they're like boa constrictors that are going to grab their prey, and it's going to be slow, and then they're going to suffocate them, and then slowly their heartbeat's going to stop, and it's going to be over. That's what this team does. It's not as fun as watching a pit viper strike you, and start swallowing its food, right? Like, it's not as exciting. It's not as quick, and everybody doesn't get thrilled about it, but that's what this team does. My concern is that the offense puts the defense in a bad situation. I think Quinn needs to understand this. We can run the ball. We can take the 8-yard passes. We can stay ahead of the chains without having to do anything magical. Cade Klubnik is going to have to play a phenomenal game against this defense. He's just going to have to, and he knows that. He knows he can't just go out there and play a conservative game and beat this defense. I mean, what he has to be feeling right now is, I've got to go beat Texas, and I've got to give it everything I've got, and that's a lot.
So, Chance, let me ask you this, because a lot was made about Jahdae Barron when he won the Thorpe, that he had Makuba with him, that he had Taft with him. But there's also Vosick and Burke and others that are local that they all know Klubnik too. Like, Ewers is from Southlake. He's not from this area. He didn't do the travel teams. They didn't play other. They all know Klubnik pretty well, specifically Taft and Vosick. But is there something to be said that they know what he doesn't like too? Like, after all the years of practice, is there something of, like, I don't think Klubnik is going to be able to bait a defensive lineman into a mistake, or a safety, or Barron. Like, he may know their tendencies, but that doesn't. If they know what throws he doesn't like to make, or they know, like, he's got a little hitch when he's doing this, like little things that they picked up from when he was at Westlake, could it be an extra advantage to Texas, or am I just blowing something stupid out of proportion?
No, I think what you can get is you can get one of two things, and they can be a positive or negative, and it's Michael Taft. He can either bait Klubnik into a throw, or he can get baited, because both of them have gone against each other a ton. I don't think the guys in the front seven, I don't think it really matters. I think it's irrelevant, because they're just going to do their job. It's going to be the swings and the turnovers, or the big explosive plays, that are going to be it. And I can guarantee you, as they sat in film this week, he was going, hey, do you see this? This what he did. This what he did. We can get him here. We can get him to make this throw. He loves this throw. He wants to do this. And at the same time, Klubnik's sitting there going, hey, I burned his ass every time in practice that we ran this. I promise you, he will bite. He wants to lay the wood on this hit, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah, no.
So it could go one of two ways, but it's going to be between those two guys, and those two guys are the only one that really matter.
Guys, go ahead, Bo.
No, go ahead, Chad.
Well, I was just saying, in rewatching SMU and Clemson, I was trying to get a sense for this Clemson team, because I frankly forgot about them after Georgia ripped them up. And then when Louisville beat them, I really didn't think I needed to care about Clemson this year. So I've been kind of trying to get myself back into that mode. And the two guys that stood out to me, I know Antonio Williams is their best receiver in terms of the catches and the yards, but it's Wesco, I think, that's the most dangerous. The kid out of Midlothian looks really good. Also a guy coming back to the state of Texas. Just long, lean, and fast. And that tight end, the Brenning Stool guy, big 6'6" guy, those are the two, number 12 and number 9, to me, that are most dangerous, Bo, in terms of, I wonder how Texas will defend. Do you put Jahdae Barron on Wesco, or is it, and then you send, I guess it would be Muhammad out to Antonio Williams and tell him to follow him all over the field? There's a couple of those Clemson guys I think could be dangerous. If they're not getting the pressure on Klubnik and he's got time, what do you think of these Clemson receivers? Do they worry you at all? Obviously, we know how good the Texas defense is. Do you have any concern about those receivers?
Well, I think you have to be concerned. This is part of back when I was saying they have 5-star guys. This is one of the positions they have 5-star guys like Wesco, who Texas wanted very badly in that recruiting class. Like I remember reading about him on Orange Bloods because it's a weird name, Wesco. But I think what you were describing isn't going to happen because Texas doesn't have just a guy. Yes, Jahdae Barron's the Thorpe Award winner, but Manny Muhammad is probably more likely to be drafted higher when the dust settles than Barron as a cover corner. Gilbo in the nickel is a NFL guy. You have safety in, multiple safeties that are NFL guys and linebackers that can cover too. So I don't think they need a guy following on an island. I think they run their scheme and they let the thing about Texas's defense through 12 games is that quarterback Klubnik is not going to be able to sit back there forever and just pick and choose where he wants to go. He's going to have to make quick decisions. He's not going to get to go 3 or 4 progressions because you don't have that much time. Maybe on one particular play, but this is where the home game is huge or should be huge. I don't know. It seems like the refs don't even like Texas when it is at Texas. But if there's ever a game where there's going to be multiple holding penalties called on the other team, it should be this one. Because the noise is going to be, hopefully, out of control. Our defense is going to be bringing the thunder to an offensive line that's not that strong for Clemson in the pass protection. And the refs shouldn't be against us. Like, this isn't one where they kind of let a couple things go. This is the one where when you grab a guy and yank him down, the flag comes out. It should be the exact same thing that happened in the Georgia game, even though it wasn't fair then either. Georgia got every single damn call they could get. It wasn't that Texas didn't commit those penalties. It's just when Georgia committed the same penalties, the flag never came out. Yeah. Texas earned every penalty they got in that game, with a couple of exceptions.
It will be interesting, Bo, to see how these games get called. First ever games like this in home sites. We got 4 of them, obviously. But also, as I'm reading up on it today, the CFP determines what officiating crew goes. So, frankly, I don't know at this point. I guess I don't know if that information gets out before kick time and how far ahead. So I don't know what conference will be represented. I'm assuming it's, a crew that's been in a particular conference. But it will be interesting to see how these games are called. Like you said, in the early going, because we got 4 brand names hosting these games. Like there is no doubt in any of these games, with all due respect to Tennessee, I would argue there's no doubt in these games. Other than maybe that one, who's the brand, right? The brand is the home team in the Notre Dame game, clearly in the Penn State game, and obviously in Austin, despite what Clemson's done kind of in this modern era. I do wonder how the human nature will take over. And maybe we see PI, Bo. Maybe there's PI in the playoffs when there was no PI in the SEC.
I didn't think Texas could get a pass interference call. Like, I thought they were immune. Like, their receivers, you can tackle them and it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait, that's just how it's played out throughout the year. But I think, and I'm not going conspiracy theory, but when you look at how the seed draw laid out and who's at home, and some of that warranted, some of it, were some 50-50 calls. You could have easily put the Ohio State game in Knoxville instead of in Columbus, but the CFP and the TV partners, who they want going. And it's the added benefit to what they did with Arizona State and Boise State, getting this automatic 3 and 4. Because now you still have your Cinderella story with Cam Scatabo and Ashton Genty in that second round. I don't think that the CFP wants anything to do with an upset in the first round this year. I think they want it to be as chalk as it can be because that's the bigger names, bigger TV draw. New Year's Day becomes a hell of a lot different when it's those matchups that you're getting.
The visiting teams better be pretty damn clean.
I mean, you want to talk about the lowest rated college football game of all time? Clemson versus Arizona State on a holiday might get like, is there a table tennis final that someone else can put on that would outdraw that?
Man, those the Clemson fans will be able to find some good seats in Atlanta, though, for that Peach Bowl, if that one ends up happening. My God. I mean, all right, if you want to jump in on
SMU versus Boise State, feel the thunder.
That would be.
I mean, you want to talk about the death knell to the CFP? Let a couple of those matchups roll out. They'll cancel the playoffs in perpetuity.
Man, that would be what would that be? Fiesta? Is that where that one would happen? Boise.
If a tree falls in the woods and nobody sees it, then it didn't happen.
That is fair. That is fair. All right, let's jump in here, Bo, and tell the folks about Star Ranch. After all, even though it's December, there's definitely been some golfing kind of days recently out there at Star Ranch.
The forecast for Saturday is 62 and sunny. That's dream golf weather. Now, you're going to be watching the game, but you could go out in the morning before the game. You could go out on Sunday. You could go out on Friday. And it's Christmas week next week. You know you're not going to be working. Just all you sales guys, book some sales calls and then call 252-GOLF and go visit Star Ranch. You can make more putts on their greens. I promise you, you will not find better greens, public or private, in Central Texas than the golf club at Star Ranch. The course isn't the hardest golf course. It's not going to challenge you like a PGA Tour layout. It's fun. It's designed for golfers of all ages. Perfect during the Christmas season when you have grandpa and kids and others. Go play Star Ranch. You get your money's worth. You have a great time. Their pace of play is impeccable because it doesn't have a ton of trouble to go find your ball. No, there's not woods that you have to go search. Star Ranch is fun. There's no other way to put it. I could be like Jason and put birdies available, eagles available. You know what? At Star Ranch, fun is available. 252-GOLF, or just scan that QR code.
Look at you. Fun is available. That's fantastic. They're going to put that on a billboard right next to Star Ranch. Fun is available. By the way, guys, here's something.
If Jason reappears, we'll have to tell him that line. He can start using it.
Yeah, that was a good one. He is definitely going to like that. Jason did have to duck out. Jason, I do see you there. You just let me know. You activate that camera if you are ready to jump back in. If you're just listening, we understand.
I think he got embarrassed because he showed his nipples and we made fun of him.
We hope everything is going all right. All right, we did.
Jess, did you screenshot his nipple and just have that as the fourth camera the whole show?
Nope.
Even if I knew how to do that while we were doing a show, I would not do that, Bo. So I'm going to say no. Absolutely no. But I will get you guys this update. As we've been talking, we always, of course, tell everybody we're here on Orange Bloods Live. We always invite everybody to check out orangebloods.com. While we've been doing the show, Anwar Richardson put a post on orangebloods.com. He has been informed that Eric Singleton is going to be coming to Austin for a visit tomorrow on Tuesday, the 17th. That means after Lane Kiffin got a say, after Miami got a say. He's announced a top 5 that includes those two, Auburn, LSU, and Texas. He's a kid from Georgia that doesn't have the Dogs on his list, but it appears that certainly the last big name that may get a say is Sark and Texas tomorrow. We'll be interested to see if Sark jumps on this thing. Eric Singleton, 56 catches this year. That is more than Bond had at Bama before he came to Texas. It's more than Golden had at Houston before he came to Texas. And it's slightly more than Bolden had at Oregon State before he came to Texas. Eric Singleton, 5'11", 190. Pretty damn good receiver. And as I just said, a lot of big-time teams want him. Texas will get their argument tomorrow. Thanks to Anwar. Shout out to the Orange Bloods crew for that.
I'd love to have him, but if the price tag is what I saw, I don't see any way that this isn't just a manipulation to get more money out of everybody else.
You think he's trying to get money out of Lane, more money out of Lane?
Well, in an NIL world, who's the biggest fish in the pond? Who's the shark that, at least in some people's mind, can stroke the biggest check? Texas.
Right.
If it's not Texas, Texas A&M.
Although they had their head coach posting.
I didn't
What
see
is that, like the finger symbols?
I don't know. Is this like a Friends version of the Monica dance or something? I don't know.
No, it was great. So many people thought it was the real Elko. They posted the Johnny meme of him running down the field with a deal, and it just said, "We're joining the game" or something like that. And all these people were going nuts, both A&M fans and people that hate it. And finally, people like, you realize this is a parody account. Like, this isn't, don't go putting it all over your message board, you idiots.
Well, it's the internet. Charlie Strong didn't get many things right. Social media really is going to be the damn downfall of society. I'm not going to lie.
The downfall of society.
I had someone literally and be like, "Hey, I saw this article that Sark's having triplets and getting back together with his ex-wife." I'm like, "Yep. What do you mean having? She already had them, and they're pregnant with the fourth. Like, what do you like?" It's like the people that wrote that Quinn Ewers has a $4 million deal to go to Oregon. Even if that was accurate, why? Like, it does Quinn no good to put that out there right now. You know who's putting that crap out there? Phil Knight in Oregon. Like, they're smart. They're playing mind games on planting that kind of stuff. Like, not just about Quinn, but about a lot of teams. Because it can lead to dissension in teams that aren't strong. And that's part of why I have the confidence in Sark that I have, is I think this team, 85 deep, is unified, and there aren't much.
Well, to that point, Bo, I think you're exactly right. And I think your entire analysis is correct. But Chad, you made a statement earlier that, that defense, there's a lot of snubs and a lot of pissed off guys. But to what Bo just said, that's the interesting thing. So I talked with somebody who is frequently talking to the players. I mean, on a weekly, sometimes daily basis. And he said, because I said, man, it's just bullshit. These guys, they deserve recognition for the work that they put in, especially a guy like Michael Taft. And this was after the All SEC deal. And I said, a guy works for being a walk-on, and you're going to snub him. I mean, he's been everything you could ever ask for. And he told me, he goes, Chance, you're missing it. He goes, every one of those guys, they don't care. They know what the goal is, and they think that's more important. And they said that other stuff will come. It doesn't matter. They just want to win a championship. And I thought that was really weird, because it wasn't coach speak. It was me talking to a friend that I've known for a dozen years going, dude, you're missing it. You're more pissed off as a fan than they are, which is, I mean, that's good to hear.
Yeah, no, you're right. In a way, it is. We got a good super chat in with a kind of an interesting technical question about this game with Texas and Clemson. I'll give you a little info that I saw today. But first, let's hear from another one of our great partners. It is Covert Ford. Let's see a truck.
Gear up for game night with Covert Ford of Austin. All season, we're bringing the football fun to you with unbeatable deals on our all-new Ford F-150s. Whether you're tailgating with friends or cruising to the big game, our powerful trucks are your perfect MVP. Come experience the rugged performance and cutting-edge features that make every drive an experience. Touchdown savings await at Covert Ford of Austin, a family tradition since 1909. CovertFord.com.
All right, shout out to all the great partners around here, and shout out to y'all. 663 is what I see right now in the Specs chat. We're almost to the devil's number, and only 9 days till Christmas. Come on, gang, we can get there. 18.
Don't call it Christmas anymore on this show.
Okay.
It's forever going to be known as Chad Hastings' birthday.
Well, I mean, I don't want to lead with that.
I'm leading on your behalf.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But normally JC and Ricky Henderson get a little upset when I forget about them. So we need to,
I've actually told my wife, if this show continues another year, our 12th Christmas tree is going to be a Chad Hastings honorarium tree on your birthday. And we'll put little tokens of appreciation on it for Chad throughout the year.
That is fantastic. I like that idea.
Bill's tree right there.
Yeah, I know. We have Festivus on Wednesday, Outsiders Festivus, because there's nothing better than that.
Yep. Everybody will bring grievances, and Chance is in charge of the poll. Chance, you good? You got a Festivus poll?
Damn right I do. It's
all right. He's got like 5 of them.
Okay, good. Chance is in charge of the Festivus poll. We're all bringing grievances on Wednesday night. ATX Bates asks for $199. Y'all see anything more about in-stadium control? Bates, I read up a little bit. ATX Bates was asking me today about it. He's been involved in like marching bands throughout his life. So it's part of the game he's interested in, about the show, the presentation. And he's been reading some things about the NCAA and these games. So Bates, here's what I read today. I don't think it's going to be as bad as we talked about in earlier shows today. From what I'm reading, the home teams get anything they would normally get in terms of your entrance, smoke, bevo, all the stuff. Now, here's what you don't get that I would be a little upset if I'm a Texas fan, but here's what you need to know. Even though that game kicks at 3, starts to get dark about 5:30, no light show. I don't know about the drones. I don't know about that, but you can't do like lights when you score. Don't ask me why. I think it's silly, but you apparently can't do light shows when you score. Also, Clemson is entitled to a presentation and an entrance on the board, on the video board.
That's fair. All for it.
I don't know how that gets determined. Me personally, I think that's silly.
How funny would it be, though, if Texas just punked them and got their whole intro and then turned it into like a Nickelodeon thing like we saw the other day? And it's like their whole intro except for with Homer Simpson.
See, and because they won't let them do that, but you don't want to be joking on the other team. But yeah, that stuff is there. But Bates, also there's certain amounts of there's some advertising on the lower level of the stadium that can't happen, but they're not going to, the logos will still be on the field and the field will be painted the same way. There'll be a CFP logo, in addition and stuff, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy. But guys, we just got in a discussion today on another show about, are we going to get the generic looking NCAA big blue button, put in the middle of these fields, which to me would be horrible. I think we're going to get enough home love. The NCAA and CFP have said, that's what we wanted. We want you to earn this so that, Texas and these other 3 teams, they get something out of it. So hopefully we get all the pageantry and tradition, of these games.
Maybe that means that Texas won't put the band up in the upper right quadrant of the stadium.
They should be required to be lower.
Bo, good point. They are required. Good call, Chance. They are required to be lower. There's a certain number of seats. Yeah. By the way, the seats, instead of a regular season number, it's 3,500 for the opposing team, and 500 of that max is for the band. So you can so it's basically a group of 1,500 in one spot, a group of 1,500 in another spot. You got to put the band down low and give them access to the field, because if they travel, they have to be able to play.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all that they get to have their intro. This is it's a college football playoff game. Give them their intro. I mean, it doesn't have to be grandioso. Play their video. They run out. It's going to be womp, womp, womp. I mean, you understand. All 3,000 people are going to be screaming their head off.
I just don't understand, though.
They should have their band get those opportunities. You earn the right to be in the playoffs. And yes, the higher seeded team gets to host it and gets to make the money off of it and gets to do things their way. But this is objectively a playoff game. They should get to showcase their stuff to their fan base and people on TV too.
They shouldn't get a video board, Bo. They shouldn't. That's
before
dumb.
The game. I don't give a damn. If I'm in the stadium, I'm not going to be looking at their board anyway. I'm going to be drinking a beer and talking.
You travel your band. That's cool. They play Hold That Tiger. Tigers run onto the field. Texas fans boo, and you kick off. They don't need
they're shipping Howard's Rock and building a mountain for them to run down.
No, right. Obviously, they're not doing that stuff, but they shouldn't get the other stuff. They shouldn't, in my opinion. Hopefully, this needs to feel like a damn home game, because that's what it is.
I think it will once the game starts.
Yeah, it better.
Take the band out of it. To me, it should be copied exactly like the NFL does it. Whatever home teams can do in the NFL, they should be able to do in college football. It should be treated the same, whether entrances, all of it. I mean, that's the simplest way to do it. They've been doing it for a long time. I don't hear people even talking about what lights are flashing at, during the playoffs, right? That's how new this all is. But I mean, why not look to who does it better than anybody else?
Well, right. And Chad, just to let you know, numerous chatters, including super producer Chris Bennett. So if it came from Chris Bennett, it's spot on.
Yes.
Speedy said the drones will be active.
Beautiful. That's
He
good.
didn't say anything about the light show, and maybe they can just not have to play Thunderstruck with the drones, and it'd be even better.
Yeah. So you're not a Thunderstruck fan, is what you're saying?
Oh my God, it's the stupidest damn song to play.
It's awful.
Wow. Easy.
Like,
easy.
I'm sorry, it's not
Lame.
1975.
Easy. Let's get a couple things straight. First off, that song was released in the early 90s, so easy.
L7.
Come on now. Now, Bo, they do have an opportunity to take my advice and pick the right song. If they did that for the Clemson game, it's a guaranteed win. If you played The House is Rockin' by Stevie Ray Vaughan like I told him to from day one,
100%.
it would have been perfect, and it still can be perfect. CDC, listen to me. Did you hear Bo? Bo's a big-time fan of yours. Bo's a big-time fan of Texas. He just told you he's not really that into Thunderstruck, and I'm going to keep saying it till you hear me, CDC. The Aggies have been playing Thunderstruck for years. Years. They do it to start the third quarter, I think, but still, like, I did, as much as I love AC/DC and Thunderstruck,
There's no tie. It makes no sense. It's like it's CDC's personal favorite. Like when he hops in his car, it plays Thunderstruck, and that's how it ended up with the drone show.
like, Bo, I get, look, I've seen AC/DC multiple times. When they scream out the line, went through to Texas, yeah, that's a big deal, but that's like a verse and a half into the song. And the song's not about Texas. They just say it one time. That's it. That's it.
I just don't see how in the modern era of football that Thunderstruck is making our team more amped up to play the fourth quarter. I just don't see it. I don't get it. And S. Roan, you can think I always have the worst takes, and some of them aren't that great. They're original. They're definitely my takes, and they're not someone else's takes. But
what do we run out to?
Huh?
What do we run out to?
What do you mean run out? Like in the beginning?
Yeah, like our intro song.
It's Rolling in the Deep by Adele, isn't it? No, that's not true. That's not true. It's what is it? It's
Barbie Girl. I'm a Barbie Girl.
No, it's the Bells, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I don't know the name of the song, so I'm remarkably staying quiet because I'll speak stupid. So I don't know the name of the song.
Yeah,
somebody in the chat help me out.
Yeah, got the big video package, and then they come out, and it's got smoke going on and all that. Yeah. All right.
I really thought it was Texas Fight, and then there was another thing.
No. I'm talking about the video, the song on the video when they're walking down.
Hell's Bells. That's it.
Hell's Bells. That's right.
Hell's Bells. Also AC/DC. There you go.
That's why they both run together.
Photos of CDC that we don't know about.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was trying to think about it, and it was bothering me because they're both so freaking similar. I just had this weird feeling in my heart. I was like, please tell me we're not playing the same song at both the start of the third quarter and the start of the game. Like, that would be the lamest of all lames. But we're second lamest for playing AC/DC and the start of the game and the start of the third quarter. Like, come on.
Yeah. Oscar jumps in.
Better.
I'm just saying it's 2025. We could get something that was, made in this century. Like, I'm just throwing it out there. Like, I'm not saying, like, I know Pat Green's playing Longhorn City Limits. I'm not asking for them to have, songs I like about Texas or something playing. But there could be a rap song or a different song.
Okay, here's my question, because I agree with you. I think it needs to be something that gets the crowd. Nobody, when you're in DKR, hears Hell's Bells and is like, oh, yeah, let's go. But you see play something that's relevant to the people that are going to get rowdy and loud in the crowd. No offense, but Hell's Bells doesn't do it for anybody. Not for the young crowd. Nobody.
I don't even like this song, but A&M has it better than us when they play Mo Bamba, which is written about a damn Longhorn basketball player.
Well, look, even A&M. I'm sorry, but that little Kanye West song, Power, it's good. I don't give a damn. Say what you want to say. It's a great intro song.
All right, Chris N, I think, has the chat of the night so far. There's only one letter between CDC and AC/DC.
That's a new shirt. That's how we get it changed. We get it changed that way.
Oh my God. And to the person that wants AC/DC at LCL that's not going to happen. Say whatever you will about AC/DC. They're not at the point of their career where they're playing for free at a football game. That's not happening.
Hey,
oh my God.
I mean, I love Pat Green as much as the next guy. I mean, he played my 21st birthday party, but like, I'm also talking about Longhorn City Limits. Like, you could this is a national showcase. I mean, and we're having Pat Green. Like, there are bigger names that would have probably come and thrown their hat in the ring for that particular, endeavor. So it's like CDC is just picking things he likes.
Could be.
Like I said, I'm a personal fan of Pat's. Like, I've known the guy. I mean, I like his music, so I'm great with it. I'm just saying, we're showcasing to the people coming in for the playoff game, and we're playing something that plays at every frat house on Friday night on Lavaca Street.
I mean, you could have. I mean, what? You could have had George. George is a Longhorn fan. You wouldn't have had Parker because Parker's a big old Aggie. I mean, there's a lot of options out there that are more relevant in today.
By the way,
Parker's an Aggie, but Parker goes where the money's at. If you stroke a big enough check, Parker McCollum would gold chain cowboy the shit out of LCL.
CB, I'm sure there's payment for I meant free concert is what I meant. I'm sorry, free for the people. I'm assuming that the acts do get paid. You have a point there.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm assuming it's different for the acts if it's a ticketed event versus if it's a free concert. That's just my guess in terms of the fee that they would get. But it's a good point. All right, look at ATX Bates. He's going old school, Bo. Bo's not going to be happy with this, Bates. $4.99. Queen, we will rock you. 100,000 fans.
I saw today.
Stomping the stadium seats over the visitors' locker room. Or
no, we're gonna let Adam Lambert gonna come out and sing it for him?
Hang on, a little more modern, or Lose Yourself by Eminem. Either is better than the current. Two different options for you from Bates. We Will Rock You or Lose Yourself.
I'd go Eminem.
Eminem's fine.
I'd go Tupac.
Yes.
Bo was complaining that there was no connection between Texas and AC/DC, and you just suggested Eminem and Tupac. Like, what? What's the connection
UGK?
there?
Let's just go all the way. Hit UGK blaring out of the speakers.
I would love UGK. I don't care if they brought out. I'm not even lying about this. I don't care if they brought out that Big X the plug, and that's what they ran out to was that I'm from Texas. Bang that through the stadium. Whatever it is, like, we need something new. I'm sorry, I'm on that train, and I'm not getting off
100% with you.
All right, there it is.
We're trying to make Clemson scared.
By the way, his name is Big Plug the X. Are we what is that his name?
Do I look like a guy that knows rappers?
No, it's Big X the Plug. What's he plugging? He's a Big X the Plug.
I don't know. Bring out Shabuzi. I don't give a damn. I like that guy.
I love Shabuzi. That concert was awesome. I was not aware of his catalog. He's actually decent.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, everything else they get right, and then this they just completely. The fourth quarter is supposed to strike fear when they play that song and have the drones, and we got a freaking fat old Scottish dude in a kilt singing "Thunderstruck." No.
All right, Bo. Ideas
His
are
name is
coming
Angus. The only other person I know named Angus was the kid on 2.5 Men.
Ideas are coming in left and right. We'll skip the part where AC/DC's actually Australian and not Scottish. But let's go to this idea. How about the Humpty Dance? Rex has fixed the problem. Just Humpty Dance.
Better than AC/DC.
Digital Underground? No? Okay. What about Chris Bennett is suggesting a Pimp C hologram?
There you go.
Oh, man.
If they came out, if the fourth quarter drone show was the freaking Barney song, it'd be better than what they got right now.
Oh, my Lord.
No, it wouldn't.
What is happening?
I need to go back to the intro. I don't give a shit about the third quarter. I want the intro. When that electricity is in there, I want it incredible.
So y'all don't have, you're saying the intro for y'all doesn't do it?
Neither one of them does it.
No. It's pitiful.
Do we need to bring back the Earl and Ricky with the super magical power, turning the Longhorns into humans? Do we need to bring that back?
Go play some corn. Or they come out to "Are you ready?" Now see, that'd be fun.
Bo's gonna hand him a CD of Jock Jams too.
I've never seen Bo so passionate about something.
Dude,
I didn't know. Tell us where the mean song touched you, Bo, because this is not okay.
Well,
Jason
showed the naughty spot. I'm not going there.
I did not realize this was a big deal for Bo either. So we're getting him some ideas. Bo, Danny says "Jump" by Van Halen. How about that one? A little Van Halen for you? No?
There's really not a song you could put that I would like any less than Thunderstruck.
How about
it wouldn't really matter what song you put, I'm in.
How about some ZZ Top? Little LaGrange, Pearl Necklace. My head's in Mississippi. What do you want?
Something 1990 or newer.
1990 or newer.
How do we
well, again, technically Thunderstruck is that. Thunderstruck was 91.
All right, so 1998 or newer.
98. Now you're pushing things. Okay, you're pushing it newer. 98 or newer.
I didn't realize we're in 2024. I miscalculated.
I'd rather than play Sam Cooke than freaking Thunderstruck.
Bo is so upset about this.
Bo is so upset. He just threw a random insult at Sam Cooke for no reason. Like, Sam Cooke is a fantastic ID. Probably not for that. Not for getting you pumped for a football game.
I'm trying to illustrate the point. Anything is better than what we have.
I think they should bring the team out to "These Arms of Mine" by Sam Cooke. That would be epic.
Jim Crochet's Bad Leroy Brown. Let's go.
Oh my God, Jim Croce in the house, getting the nod. Let's see what Robert has to say. I think Robert may see if he can get us back on track, like there was ever a track. $4.99 from Robert. Chance, as a former elite recruit and quarterback, what do you like about Sark's offense? Could you see yourself in his offense? Your top 5 if you were a 2025 high school quarterback. Oh, goodness. There's one for you. Thanks, Robert.
I don't know. I want to say yes because I do. I like the more pro-style offense. I feel like right now we've become such a screen-happy team. I want to see the Sark of earlier this year and the Sark of last year, the creative Sark, because that Sark, I look at that offense and I go, he's only going to make me the best quarterback that I can personally be. Like, so you're not just signing up for the offense, you're signing up for the coach too. There's a reason why Archie Manning, Trust, and Cooper Manning and Arch all trust what Sark's doing. You don't get a name that big with a family that legendary to trust you that much if he doesn't know what he's doing. And they trust that he develops quarterback. So to answer that question, I like the old Sark's offense that had guys coming across the field that involved double moves, that involved option routes where guys are reading what the defense is doing and reacting on that and creating open throws that stretch the field. But that's not where we're at right now. So then I turn back and I look at the coach. And I look at that coach and I go, if I'm him, I know what he's capable of. And if he's got the guy in his that he feels comfortable doing, because ultimately Sark's going to only put the quarterback in a position that he can be successful. And I think that's why we've seen the change in the offense in this last half of the season.
So to go back to that, though, Chance, if you had to name your top 5 programs you would want to play for, 18-year-old Chance, who would you want to play for?
Yeah, 2025 Chance.
Like offense-wise, forget about environment or whatever.
Your top 5 right now, what are the offenses you like around the country?
I still think Texas is number 1. You'd be silly as a quarterback not to go look at Oregon with all the success that every one of their quarterbacks has over there. Mm-hmm. if you have a chance to go up to Ohio State knowing what team is going to be around you and the offensive minds that you're going to sit in meetings with, how do you turn that down, right? Like those would be the three that I would go talk to.
Right. And obviously A&M for dynamic fourth down play calling.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to go run a Colin Klein scheme?
Chance. Remember, when you get the ball, you get to turn and hand it to the guy they all know is going to get it. Like, you get to do that. You realize?
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing, though, Chad.
Takes a lot of work.
If you're Chance and you're meeting with your potential coordinator, and you go meet with Sark and Milwee and all them, and they show you this book of plays, and they're like, yeah, we're going to give you an iPad, and there's all this crazy stuff. And then Colin Klein's like, I'll give you this sticky note. We'll have the entire offense written on this yellow piece of paper. You can stick it to your wrist. You won't have to memorize shit.
Well, there was sometimes it didn't look like any of those quarterbacks did either.
Well, no, it looked like all of their plays could have been condensed on one yellow sticky note.
All right, here's what we're running. We're running roll right. Everybody get open.
I guess I could get mad at Bo if I hadn't just made a joke myself. So I guess
we're running the legitimately worth a shit play.
Yeah, right.
I have a drawer full of sticky notes from the show. So, I have a historical reference to a lot of things.
Hooked on the Horns, $5. I think SRV's cover of Voodoo Child could work as an intro song. That's an interesting idea. Here's one for Bo. ATX Bates has your answer, Bo. Break Stuff by Limp Bizkit. There it is, right there.
Here's what I'm thinking. Austin is the live music capital of the world, right?
Uh-huh.
Y'all, we've all seen the meme because people do it for Texas games. I know they do it for Bills games. I'm sure they do it for Cowboys games. But it's the dude that looks like Johnny Depp, and he just got out of bed, and he's got his deal on. It's like, wake up, get the fuck out of bed. Like they need to make some shit like that like everybody like. But see, that's where Texas could be really cutting edge above everybody because that meme has been going around everywhere, and if all of a sudden they pop that up,
like. I used to wake my son up with a song that's in a commercial that is god awful. It goes like, "You got to get up, got to get out," by a band called Nilsson Schmilsson. I would rather a live performance of Nilsson Schmilsson than freaking Thunderstruck.
Wow, man! I did not expect the anti-Thunderstruck
5 minutes thinking about Nilsson Schmilsson.
No, you can ask Razor for a year straight every single morning. He didn't have an alarm clock. It was me walking in blaring Nilsson Schmilsson every single morning.
Wow.
Now he hates the damn song.
Oh, my God.
All right, I'm going to look up this song, Legendary, by Hershey.
Well, you can't play music, Chance.
I can look the song up.
ATX Bates, speaking my language, throwing a metal idea out by Pantera.
There's so many good Pantera songs. That would be great.
That would be an idea. It is a Texas band. Maybe that'd
would be good. Sepultura would be good.
Metallica
would be good.
Bo's calling for some South American metal over AC/DC. Good grief.
I would literally rather hear Dora the Explorer's theme song come out than freaking Thunderstruck.
Dude, swiper no swiping would get the team ready. Because Bo, what does that promote? No turnovers, no swiping, right? It promotes no turnovers. That's what it does.
And people say that this show doesn't ever go off the rails.
Look at ATX Bates. He's got it. He's going disturbed. He's down with the sickness. That's what he wants.
I'd take it. Like literally anything that plays at the Yellow Rose is acceptable over Thunderstruck.
You would terrify the old folks if you played that song. You'd scare them to death. You don't want to do that. You don't want to.
The only thing worse than the music is these Monday Night Football games. I hope people are tuning into us over that because these games are awful.
Oh my God! And ATX Bates now has his final idea of the night. No, that's probably not going to work.
No, there are kids involved.
That's probably not going to.
Randy Jones suggested Peppa Pig, and there'd be at least 10,000 kids in the stadium that would be singing along with the drone show.
The Peppa Pig theme song would be fantastic. Bo, before we head towards the door, why don't you tell the folks about Rogue Shop? It is almost Christmas time. Rogue has all kinds of ideas.
I feel like the second half of this show was kind of sponsored by the Rogue Shop in real life, between Jason showing his nipples, between this music conversation. But that kind of encapsulates what's great about the Rogue Shop. Whatever it is you're looking for, they have a cure. They have a sleep aid. They have some edibles that will just make you giggle. They have some pre-rolls. They even have, I'm going to get this wrong because I'm not good with words once in a while. I think it's called a salve, but you put it on your shoulders or your back. Oh, good God. Like, it's therapeutic. Go play a round of golf when you're old and fat like me, and then put that on. The next day you can go play again without pain. Rogue Shop has an answer for whatever's ailing you, whether, like I said, sleep, anxiety, just wanting to have some fun. Use the code OUTSIDERS to get 10% off your order at Rogue Shop. And if you go over $100, they ship it to you for free, discreetly, right to your door. Order today, and Christmas will be so much better. In-laws coming in, don't want to be stressed out? Rogue Shop. Check it out.
I guarantee you if Richard was watching that, he laughed. He definitely had to laugh at, I think it's called a salve. That was good.
Did you see him check notes, though? Like, he looked down like, I think it's called a salve.
I think
that's one of those words that I've never gotten right.
So you take one and you put it in your mouth. They call it a gummy. They call them gummies, I think.
I don't even know what, like, choo-choo, we're off.
See, here's what you've done, Bo. What you have done is you somehow got Chris Bennett to suggest this song for Texas to either enter or the fourth quarter. Like, what are we doing? Tie a yellow ribbon.
Like, the funny thing is,
come on,
I don't know what viewership is doing, but I've never seen so many chatters getting in on this section.
Right?
The people that tune in tomorrow that download it later are going to be like, what the hell happened to these?
Rex is suggesting Alex Van Halen's incredible intro of Hot for Teacher. Hot for Teacher has a hell of an intro. I don't know if that's what I would do at a school. I don't know if that's the way I would go.
Randy Jones went back to the Dora the Explorer and Peppa Pigs and said 10,000 fired up little kids can't be wrong. No, they cannot.
See, I don't know if any team goes this far back. Bo wants more modern, but you know what? In it to Quinn it. Can you imagine if Texas came out to Funky Town? Gotta make a move to a
I'd be down. Like, at least it has some vibe.
Wow, that gets you.
Guys on the sideline. I mean, there's a way to make it work.
Can't you just see like the young? Can't you just see Quinn and Arch? But
I swear, like my beard has gone completely gray just having this conversation about Thunderstruck because I aged 20 damn years.
All right, Chris Bennett says the Blues Clues theme song. Oh my God!
All I know
Wonder
is
Pets. That's it. Wonder Pets. We'll just play Wonder Pets coming out in the fourth quarter.
The Wonder Pets theme song. If CDC was watching this show, he's no longer watching this show.
Oh, he's taking notes. He's taking copious notes about how awesome this place is.
Now it's gone.
not just any notes.
See, ATX Bates is now just getting silly. Dude, they don't need to come out to Simon and Garfunkel. That does not need to have the sound of silence.
What was that one with Simon? It was Neil Simon. No, what's his name? Simon. What was Simon's name?
Paul Simon?
The one with Simon and Garfunkel?
Yeah, Paul
Correct.
Simon.
Yes,
but
Paul
he did
Simon.
the song that Chevy Chase was in.
Oh, yeah.
You want to go call me Al? That's what you want?
What's
You want
next?
Texas?
I struggled to get to Paul Simon. I struggled hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Texas Longhorns. But
they could bridge into when he sings that Cecilia song and he's bumping the bongo. McConaughey could be out there with the bongo. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart.
we've totally lost control of every idea. Let's
Yeah.
just, you know what?
move to
Yellow
the Wednesday
Submarine has
show.
been suggested. Why in God's name would you have Yellow Submarine by the Beatles? I have no idea. We have Karma Chameleon by Culture Club being suggested. Oh, here we go. Randy wants the Gap Band. That's just going to drop the bomb on him, right? You drop the bomb on me, baby. Yeah, there you go.
We gotta stop. This is fun for us, but there's no way anybody actually wants to listen to you sing.
I really think I love when people are in the chat that may have not understood the beginning of what we're talking about. Like they don't know that we're talking about the intro or the fourth quarter song. Like Oscar has now gotten to Cinnamon Girl by Neil Young. Like, bro, what are we doing? What?
I think people are just typing songs in. Like they're just
What are you talking about? Hey, boys, you know that Bob Dylan song, Bob Dylan movie's coming out, man. Subterranean Homesick Blues. Just play it. The people will love it.
Oh, my God. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time, though.
Oh, this ATX Bates. This is it. We're ending the discussion. The Austin Powers theme song.
Esrone 45 put Mambo number 5. I broke a windshield to Mambo number 5 back in college. It was awesome.
Oh my God, a little bit of Erica in my life. That's really what we
were driving. Let's just say we were sober, Mom and Dad, driving home from 6th Street. And we were in my truck. I wasn't driving said truck because I passed the keys off like a smart individual. But it was like cold as crap outside, so that the froster was on. And that song came on, and everybody's like punching the roof. And I punched the windshield and the defroster and hit that damn thing up. And my class wing hit it. Everybody in the truck kind of hesitated and looked at me like, oh shit, he's going to be pissed. And then I just started banging the roof again. Let's get home.
That is fantastic. Oscar, you're making me laugh every time you throw a song in now because you know exactly the kind of song to pick that makes no sense for this discussion. Did that pop up on the screen?
Nothing makes sense for this discussion.
Did I hit it? Did I actually hit the button right on that? Cats in the cradle. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Little boy blue.
We should all blame Jason because as soon as it went to nipple vision, everything went sideways.
It really is.
And then he bailed on us.
He shows us nipples and then he bails. But he's been sitting in the damn waiting room for 20 minutes.
And then bailed, and I can't figure out.
He set off a grenade and left.
He really did. I have no idea how he pulled that off. It was incredible. Incredible. All
we'll
right,
do better on Wednesday, I promise everybody.
I don't think we can. I just don't.
We can't promise that. What we learned tonight is we cannot ask Bo what he thinks of the music in the stadium.
Baby
I thought we were
shark, baby shark.
But every time you do that now, it reminds me of Jamie Tart from Ted Lasso when he started singing the Jamie Tart
or that one. You can do that one from Ted Lasso. You can have Ted Lasso songs. Longhorn fans, we're sorry. I swear I didn't mean to start it. I was just trying to have a basic conversation about Clemson, get something on the video board, and Bo's Thunderstruck feelings came out in a big way. Bo hates the song so much, he thinks it came out like 16 years before it actually came out. The song came out in the 90s. Bo's got it in the 70s. That's how bad he hates it. Can't stand it. He thinks it was on their second album. It wasn't. It wasn't. All right. I think that's it. I don't think we have any other ideas for tonight.
Rogue Shop
better than Baby Shark.
Anybody that had Rogue Shop tonight was winning when you heard us talk.
Damn right. Up over 700 of you in the Specs chat. Say what you will about this conversation. The viewer number has gone up as it's happened somehow. Because people
are calling their friends. Listen to these two very dumbasses.
Exactly. People have called.
He was about to throw us. Chad, did you notice that Freudian slip? He was about to throw us in the grease. Listen to these three dumbasses.
Right. Because it wasn't you. started that. Like you started this, Bo.
I was trying to keep you out of the front chat.
Was backwards and sideways like the homeless guy.
Listen here. The 2 was me and Chance. Chad, you're always kind of on the level and a good moderator, so I was trying to but you actually like the song, so you're a dumbass too.
Dick in a box.
Right. Chris Bennett is suggesting Berlin's Take My Breath Away. That's where we are. That's where we are in this discussion.
Asia by Toto.
Good grief. Toto, what?
Africa.
Africa by Toto.
You must give Oscar his love on that one.
That has now been suggested. All right. We will head towards the door. We will remind you that it is The Outsiders, brought to you by Poncho. Bo's got his poncho on tonight. If you're a Longhorn fan, there's your 40 acres. Don't forget the kids this Christmas season. Maybe you need to grab them a poncho. They got all this kind of cool stuff. Even if your kids aren't outdoorsy, they can wear them inside too. Short sleeve, long sleeve, the whole thing. Don't forget the Earl, the Smoky, and the other burnt orange stuff. Whether you like the regular buttons or those mother of pearl snaps that we love so much, more of the Western vibe. And don't forget the T-shirts. They're just as comfy as hell. And when you get a poncho shirt, a lot of times you're going to get a T-shirt that just comes along with it. And it's just as comfy as it can be. So check that out as well. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and getting your notifications for Orange Bloods Live. I didn't know it'd be a sing-along. So join us on Wednesday. This was without drinking, by the way. This is the non-drinking version of this show. Yep, this is the Stone Cold Sober version. Come back on Wednesday.
Be back on the brown water, don't you?
That's right. Wednesday, it'll be brown water, Bo. There's no telling what kind of songs Bo will want for Texas to play when we show up on Wednesday. So Wednesday, 8:30, we'll make our picks on Texas and Clemson. In fact, it's pretty easy this week. We'll just pick the 4 playoff games, right, fellas? You want to do that?
Yes,
there you go. The spread or an over-under for all 4 playoff games. And by the way, it's these 2 guys. See these two? These 2 guys are out in front of the playoff pick'em. I fell off. Blake fell off. Jason Dick showing nipples. He fell off. Like, these 2 guys are running the show. We'll get you the updated standings on Wednesday night. Y'all have a good rest of your Monday. Enjoy both of those Monday Night Football games, and please find Bo a better song than Thunderstruck. He's got feelings that need to be expressed.
There's a million of them. There are literally a million of them.
We'll be back to analyze his psychotic state on Wednesday.
5 days away, CDC. Find Bo Edge, the perfect song. I know you got something.
This is like a Rick and Morty episode. Play your song.
Oh, my God. I think Bo wants the Phineas and Ferb theme. There's all kinds of stuff. The Simpsons theme. You can do all kinds of things. All right. Until Wednesday night, we are the Outsiders. Jason Dick, take care of yourself out there, brother. I don't see you anymore on the side. Hopefully you're doing all right. We are sorry that we saw your nipple, and then really sorry that we didn't see the rest of you for the rest of the show. We hope everything's all right. Jeff Ketchum, get to feeling better. Ketch is recovering from the flu as well. Anybody that's sick out there, get to feeling better soon, because Texas is going to play a playoff game on Saturday. We'll talk more about it on Wednesday. Until then, we are the Outsiders, and we